I have been taught to accept and transform my demons rather than go to battle with them, as you teach. Can you please speak to this discrepancy? That's a very good question. If you are opening the door to angels in your life, you are also opening the door to demons. Okay, so we'll start there. There are demons. There are real demons. The person who's asking this, may be talking about the inner demons. But inner demons manifest as outer demons. Everything's coming from us and not at us. Angels are coming from us and not at us. But so too are there demons. If you believe in angels, you got to believe in demons too. See, so everyone wants to believe in angels, but you open the door to one. You open the door to that possibility. You're opening the door to both sides of the force, right? The dark side of the force and the light side of the force. So there are demons. There are demons that appear in all kinds of ways. They can appear as other people. They can appear as events. They can appear as what we sometimes call obstacles. They can appear as, of course, they could appear in inner ways too, as mental afflictions or as the inability to understand things, for example. There's all kinds. Inability to stay awake in teachings is a demon, full on. And everyone's laughing because they've had that demon. No, I used to go to the Dalai Lama systematic every single time. No matter how much sleep I had gotten the night before, you go to the Dalai Lama teaching, and as if like this the whole time. I got this whole system worked out where I would go to sleep during the Tibetan part. And then when the translator started, I try and get up again. Sometimes that system worked and sometimes it didn't. But no, those are just demons. Those are demons. So the question is a very good question because although it is true that one has to go to battle with one's demons in the sense of not putting up with them anymore, saying no to the demons, saying no, this isn't going to be the way it is anymore, you see, as opposed to just capitulating to them, or what I call coddling the demons and just saying, well, that's the way it is and I can't help it. And, yeah, so I mean there is a sense in which you have to go to battle and just say no, enough of this already. But on the other hand, the way to really eliminate demons is the same way you eliminate an irritating person at work, and that is to love them. Eventually, to love them through the three-part process: running away, because you're not strong enough to deal with it, just enduring it and not giving in, and then eventually loving them and saying how awful it is to be a demon like you. Demons are not happy. Demons are not happy beings. They are tormented, and that's why they torment others. That's a truism, right? Just like people are like that too. Unhappy people are cruel to other people because they're unhappy. They're seeking, it's kind of like venting, or they're trying to get some, they're releasing steam or something. They're trying to get rid of this feeling that they have by trying to pass it on to someone else, by hurting someone else. Maybe they could get rid of the hurt that they're feeling. And demons are just a, cranked up version of that. And there are demons like that. So, if you're struggling with the demon, and you should struggle with a demon, the way to finally defeat the demons, inner and outer, is to embrace them and love them. And, in the esoteric traditions, what this means when it comes to the inner demons is that you embrace them too. You embrace things like anger and desire and pride, and you use them. You bring them, you tame them by bringing them into the enterprise, into the spiritual enterprise, instead of having them, be opposed to the spiritual enterprise. You see? There's stories like that. When Buddhism first came to Tibet, right, they had to tame all these demons everywhere. And they kept their same form. The tamed demons kept their same form, but just got, allied. Then they just became allies instead of opponents. And that's the case with the inner demons too. That's ultimate self-acceptance, you could say. You accept yourself as who you are. and you embrace all of you, including the parts that you formerly known as flaws. The parts formerly known as flaws. And you just reconstitute them. You reconstitute them as positive things instead of negative things. It's very, very good to have desire. Very, very good. If it's applied to the right thing. You see, if it's allied on the forces of good instead of the forces of evil. Very good to have desire. I desire very strongly not to suffer. I desire very strongly to be able to help other people. You see, and desire it. Desire very strongly to see the divine in your life. How are you going to what would the motivating force be in a spiritual practice if not desire? So harness desire, transform desire, embrace desire. And the same with hatred. The same with strong emotions like hatred. Embrace anger. Embrace anger. Get really angry. At what? At anger itself. At uncontrolled, hostile anger itself. Get angry at that anger. Use that kind of emotion. Use the angry emotion to overcome your own demons, you see. Anger purified. You see, these are strong emotions. But if they are enemies, they are impure. See, that's what kind of makes them an enemy, is that they're impure. It means they are driven by selfishness, by ignorance and selfishness. But when they're driven by selflessness and the desire to become the Buddha, a desire to become an enlightened being, then they're very, very useful. In the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, they say it very, very clearly, especially in the commentaries. They say a mental affliction that's used as part of the path is no longer a mental affliction. If you're using desire, if you're using anger, if you're using pride as part of the path, then it's not a mental affliction anymore. And these are very so you just loved your enemies, right? Love the thing that was formerly your enemy, former demon. You love them, you tame them, and you put them, you harness them to your enterprise, to your spiritual enterprise. That's what Jesus said, right? Love your enemies. When you love your enemies, they're no longer your enemies anymore. But that doesn't mean they look different or change in kind of fundamental ways. They're just reinterpretation. They're reinterpreted. Instead of anger being a problem, anger can be a solution to your problem. You see what I mean?